Hello and welcome to the channel, and today's video is going to be a quick overview of the Mezco 112 1989 Batman. So I was checking out eBay for a couple of weeks now and seeing what the going price was for the Mezco. One thing that just to put it out there, I wasn't really interested in the figure itself after watching all of the reviews. Um, the rubber suit, the funky posability with regards to that metallic skeleton that they used. The white powdery substance and all of that, there were a lot of negatives with the figure. But what I really liked was that it had 4 different head sculpts, and what intrigued me about that is maybe getting a few of those head sculpts for customs for my McFarlane 89 Batmans. That was the main reason I was probably interested in this figure in the first place. So when the figure first finally shipped out to customers and all that, the resale on this thing was pretty high. 180, 190, 200, some for 300. You can still see some of those ridiculous prices on eBay. But over the past few weeks or months, actually, I've seen the prices go down on it. And there were several listings that had or best offers on them. A lot of them are just buy it nows or actual bids. So, but there were a few of those that had or best offer option. So I tried a few of those. My from what I could find online, the actual price for the figure, from what I could find again, was $110. The actual retail for if you bought it straight up. So I wasn't gonna go too high above that. At first, I was just jokingly attempting to bid 120, or I'm sorry, 115. I was going on my best offers 115, and then I would increment it by 5 to 120, and then 125 was going to be my limit, 125. And so those guys had their buy it nows at around 150, so I was just cutting off $25, $25 from their resale, right? And the few ones that I attempted the offer, they rejected them. So I was like, whatever, I'm not gonna make any more bids. So that was that. But then again, I found another listing later on. Again, they had it as a buy it now for 140. And they had also the make an offer option. So again, this time I started off with 120. And he accepted. So I got this figure for $120, which again, if I did my research correctly, the figure was selling for $110, plus he was offering free shipping. So, the other thing that I had to pay additional on this thing was the tax, the California tax. So I ended up paying at around $129 or something like that for the figure in total. So in my opinion, I didn't pay a lot above the actual retail price, and I got free shipping, and all I had to pay extra was $20 extra. including the, the additional cost and the tax. So for me, I thought that was a decent price, a pretty nice decent price. So yeah, here we are. I got this figure earlier last week. I'm recording this. No, actually this week. What am I doing? I got this during this week. I'm recording this on a Sunday, so I got this on a Wednesday, and I've been playing off and off with the figure. I have my issues, like everyone, and we're gonna go into those right now. But first, again, for those who haven't seen this, I'm sure you have. I'm just gonna go over quickly the box. You have this on the side. You have this on the back, and the same on the other side. And yes, this is an official. It came in with the official Mezco box. It came in sealed. The box came in sealed in a plastic bag that was not opened or anything previously. So that was the other thing that I liked about this, that I got it at such a good price, is because the whole thing was completely sealed. So it was brand new. Okay. So let's pull this guy out. I'm gonna put this right here. You got a bunch of stuff falling out. So again, it comes with instructions. I saw one reviewer say if your action figure comes with instructions on how to use it, then it's not a good figure. I don't know. Again, I guess it's just for because since it's such a high price, I guess they need some instructions just so you don't break it. But again, it does make sense. And again, this, I don't know what this is, just like a thank you and whatnot. And that was all of the I believe that was all of the, yes, that's all of the paperwork that comes with the figure. So here we have the figure, and again, a bunch of stuff came down already. But again, the main reason I got it was for the optional heads, because I do plan on swapping those out, which we will talk about that in a separate video for how I'm modifying my McFarlane '89 Batmans. So I'm going to now, just since everything already fell off, I'm gonna put this flat. We're gonna put this on the side for right now. So the figure comes wrapped in, or doesn't come wrapped, it just has this stuff laid on top. Comes with the bare figure with just one head sculpt. The cape does not come attached, so I just, like I said, I've been using the figure off and on this past few days just to get a hang of it. And I'm gonna show you, well, I'm gonna give you my thoughts on this figure. Okay, so there we have, let's get just a little bit closer in there. So there we have the figure in issue number 1. Like most people complaining, yes, the cape. So this is the wired cape, and as you can see in its natural state, it flares out a lot. The SH Figure Arts had a similar issue, but that's because that figure had a thicker material cape, but it basically splayed out in the same way. What I did on that one to hold it in place was just add a bobby pin to on the back. So Oop, almost dropped everything. So basically what I did was just hook everything there, flipped everything to the back, and inserted a bobby pin right there. So it's probably gonna be something that I do for this guy as well, right? Um, the other issue that this figure has, of course, had the little powdery substance on top of it. Since most of the time that I've been playing with the figure, trying to get a hang of it, was after work, and by the time I get home, it's already, there's no longer any direct sunlight, and the the lamp that I use in my room, the it's a low wattage bulb, so it's not the best, source of light. So I couldn't really tell how much of that white powdery substance the figure was covered in. By the time yesterday that I had a decent shot, by the time yesterday that I had a chance to play with it, early in good light, it didn't have a lot of it, so maybe just some of it rubbed off as I played with it over the course of the few days. But I still went out and got a this treatment. A lot of people have been using automotive like protectant for the vinyl or the suit for the plastic rubber suit, just to give it that remove that powdery substance. So I just got this Armor All, which is basically the same thing. A lot of people were using different brands. Um, but yeah, I mean, this thing is good for vinyls, for plastics, and all of that. So you don't have to buy it. If you don't, I bought this little bottle because that's all basically I needed. I wasn't gonna buy the huge bottle just for. I'll probably use it for my car, sure, but I wasn't about to buy the large bottle. And so I've already rubbed the figure all over, so you can see that there's even some slight shine on the figure. So that was issue number 2. And now issue number 3 with the figure is the posing and all of that. So we'll get to that in just one second. Issue 4, of course, other than the cape itself and how it poses, putting on the cape. I did find it difficult to apply it like most people have. In the end, what I ended up using is just a flathead screwdriver and lightly, applying pressure to clamp it on. Um, Nothing damaged or anything. You can see it's pretty clean. The connection of the cape with the there you go. The cape with the clip and all of that. It's held in place, although I probably don't want to test it. But let's see if it holds up. It's held in there, so there we go. It fell out. The issue is because all of this extra material that's in the around the ring of the clamp, it's just makes it, all of that excess material just makes it harder for it to clamp on tightly around the clip here, the edge of the whatever neck piece they're using. So now that this is removed, we can look at the figure itself. You can see that the magnet is pretty strong. But there we have the figure itself. So I've seen a lot of people handle it with like kid gloves and with care, and I don't want to damage it. I just went at it. And I was like, look, if this thing is gonna break on me as I'm trying to move around it and pose it around, then this thing sucks, right? A lot of people are like, oh, well, it's pretty expensive and you don't want to break it. I mean, if it breaks, it's not because of my handling. I'm doing normal things that any people would normally try and do with their figure, right? So here we go. The arms to get the T-pose, this is a lot. They're not hard resistance, but it is a little stiff. But you can move it around until this point right here where it gets really stiff, probably because of the rubber meeting, rubber to rubber right here. But the actual range, you can actually go all the way. If you remove the head, you can actually go all the way to the top. All right, you can actually get a full extension. And then the torso has a great ab crunch. And then the arm, here's one of my issues that I have. It just springs back. But then once you reach like 45 degrees, it starts to hold in place. And then 90. And finally, what's after 90? 90 plus 45? Minus 95? Whatever. So that's pretty much the full range of the arm at the elbow. At this point, I can feel the metal skeleton poking here at the elbow. There we go. He actually does have a waist turn. It's probably easier to lift this up. He does turn at the waist, right? So that's something that you can do. But now, the issue that I have, the legs. The legs. Look at that. There is nothing there. Nothing to hold it up. Going sideways. If I go forwards, which is a trick in itself to figure out how to move the leg forwards. Look at that. He looks like a marching Nazi, right? Will that get this video censored by YouTube because I said the N word? So again, you stick out the leg and then move it forward in place. Look at that. Both legs. So this figure is impossible to get in any sort of pose. Now granted, I'm just gonna have this guy standing up like this, right? So I don't need him posed, but still, you would like to have a figure that works like it should, right? So I don't know. I'm trying to remember, but I don't think at any point that I had the figure as I was playing with it that the leg was able to stay up. So I don't know if this just came out broken or what, but look at that. I can't use the legs. The knee, on the other hand, there's at 90. He does hold the knee up. And then beyond 90. That's as much as you're going to get. No metal seems to be poking out here, like on the elbow. But yeah, this entire thing was one of the reasons why I wasn't really too keen on picking him up after all of the reviews that I saw. But again, I'm just gonna have this guy sitting there on a shelf, looking pretty, collecting dust, and that's about it. So, but in the end, like they say, if you are paying, whatever amount of money, you want the thing to work. And in my case, those legs are just, I'm trying to remember if other reviewers had the same issue that I have with the leg, but oh well. And now let's just take a look at the head sculpt. So this is the one that has the posable eyes. So you use this lever to have them go and look left or right. Those work pretty well. Some of them have like cockeyed eyes where they don't move in sync with one another. So they've had like one eye looking straight up and the other one looking to the side. So these ones are pretty well aligned. So that's the head that I have him on right now. But of course you also have the other heads. So here you have, let's see, this is the battle damaged head, which also has some damage on the cowl itself. Right up here by the brow, you can see. I actually thought, now that I'm looking at it through the camera, I actually thought that blood on the cheek was just painted on, but it actually does look like it has a, on the sculpt itself, that the cut is there. It's not just paint. Because I thought at first of maybe just repainting it, but if it has the scar, then that's not going to be able to be removed unless I do some cover up with putty and all of that. So that's one head. We then have the, what is this? Slightly mouth open head. One of these I also you can see that this magnet is chipped. That's me. That I did that. I tried to remove the magnet as I was trying to test for the custom using the McFarlane figures. So that's me. I tried to pull out the magnet, but it's stuck in there. So if you're trying to pull out the magnets, I don't know how you're gonna be able to do that. But this one came out really nice as well. And then finally, we just have the basic, regular, normal, that normal head. So I'm probably gonna be using this one and the previous one for my customs for the McFarlanes, and I'm gonna keep this one for the Mezco, the one with the moving eyes. And I'm gonna have a spare one for the one with the battle damage. I'll probably see how I'll be able to use that one for another custom. I have ideas. So onto the accessories. So even though a bunch of them fell into the clamshell, but I'm just gonna show you one. So he has a bunch of these little batarangs. I believe there's like 4 of them, 4 or 5. Okay, so they both have those silver tips. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. There's 4 of those. He comes with the famous "Why is there a packed one?" ninja star. I believe people say it's from a deleted scene. I'm also trying to remember if I actually saw that in a movie. Maybe I'm having like the Mandela effect here that I'm like, oh, I think I actually saw him use it. But I guess he didn't. It's been a while since I've seen it, so I don't really remember. But yeah, almost all of these 89 Batmans have a ninja star packed in. And then this little thing here, they say is like the smoke capsule thing that he uses to, whenever he wants to plan an escape. And then the what's this? He has this. This isn't the communicator. I believe this is something else. I'm trying to remember if this is like a bomb thingy, like a timer, because it almost looks like it's got some digits in there in the center. I'm trying to remember. I don't really recall what this was for. There's this thing. And then where did that thing go? The communicator's under there. Okay, so now we're going to switch to the other side of the tray. So we have his, there's the grappling gun. Okay, with that little flip out handle, although this one doesn't flip out, I believe. No. It would have been cool if this actually flipped in and out. So this flips over to this side over here. And it does come with the rope. So this one plugs in on this end right here. Yeah. So this plugs in and, just extend the bendy wire, right? But there's the end of the hook. And then there's also just the tip of the hook that you can plug in. There we go. Which is probably how I would pose him with this, in this position. Which I actually do have one of the figures that I'm going to customize. I do have the, no, I can't separate it. There we go. One of the, let me see if he's here. Yes, I'm just gonna show you the gun. Don't want to give away the surprise, but this is the McFarlane from one of the Three Jokers Batmans, which has the similar looking grappling gun from the 89 Batman. So I just customized that, cut the plastic wire rope, and I just made my own hole through there and just plug this thing. Right. And then he also has the collapsed grappling hook, which is placed on his hip for when he tells Vicky Vale how much does she weigh. I believe they say that this hooks up through a magnet or something. I don't see how this holds up. Maybe that's why we need instructions. But supposedly I thought I saw some people say that this thing hooks up through a magnet somewhere around here. Well, I don't know. So there's that. And then we get a bunch of hands. We got a set of yes. So we got a set of gripping hands. I believe this is for the little controller for the Batmobile, because this seems to, or maybe this is for the grappling hook, I guess. Also, I thought they were too small, but no, it does look like they do fit the grappling hook. And then you have these more open, splayed out, expressive hands. Actually, these are from the same side. Huh. I didn't notice. Here are the others. Here are the other ones. So this one's a little more spread out than the other one. Right. Again, the figure comes standard with the fists. And now, as I lift up the bottom, lift up the top tray to expose the bottom tray. The bottom tray has, let me just pause. Okay, so the bottom tray has the other cape that is non-wired. I still have it wrapped up. I haven't even looked at it yet. So there's this one. It also comes with the grappling thingy that he uses to escape the art museum with Vicky Vale. That he has on his, that he puts on his forearm. The C clip is rather strong. It's not flexible, so I wonder how this would go. Would it just clamp on from the wrist? Yeah, and then just slide it up. Yeah, something like that. I guess you can remove the hand and slide it up easier that way. Oh, through the fist. It goes through the fist. And then we have the, oh, this one's going to be hard to pick out. So this is the communicator for the Batmobiles for when he makes it to stop in front of him and Vicky Vale freaks out. And it's also the one that he uses to command to put up the shield, so you can see a little bat signal in there. And then finally a wired batarang. Don't recall what scene did he use this one. Oh, I believe this is what he use for anchoring the Joker at the end for him to fall down. And then finally we have the stand. So the stand, this is the base. It comes with a protective plastic. Just remove it. Needs a little cleaning up, a little grease and whatnot. So this is the base, and then here's the clamp. Pretty basic. All of these imports pretty much have the same basic stand, and then you just plug that in here. I wonder how easy it is to, let me just look at this. Oh, the plug removes. It's a plug. So this is a plug that you poke out at the bottom. Let's see. Oh, it's pretty hard. Give me 1 second. Okay, I was able to pull out the plug there. So that's the plug for the stand to go into, like that. Pretty simple. And the clip here at the edge, this is pretty resistant, so it will probably hold up the figure for any like flying, not flying, but mid-air pose. Sorry, you're not seeing this, but yeah, this is pretty tight. It is also, you have a head screw that you can tighten or loosen. In case yours comes a little too tight, you may want to loosen it up a little bit so you don't break the acrylic. But there you go. Does this twist? It does. So it also twists at this end. You can actually remove it. And then clamp the figure. Although the weight is gonna make the stand tilt, but if you hold up the base in place, it will, the strength of the acrylic will hold up. Although you can see this thing is bending already, so there's that. Let me just remove this, put it back in place. And we're almost finished here. So is there anything else that I'm missing? Doesn't look like it. So there you go. So my final thoughts on this guy. Is it worth the money? No, absolutely not. Even though I ended up paying for it, it was for alternative motives. I wanted those extra head sculpts to customize my McFarlane figures, and then on top of that, a bunch of the accessories can be used. Again, I'm only gonna have this guy standing there, looking, with my other figures, collecting dust. So in the end, in that regards, the purchase was quote unquote worth it. But as far as the quality of the figure and all of that, I mean, you saw how those legs just spring back into position. So either mine came in defective, and again, that's the risk with these type of figures, especially this one, which is protected, coated, using a rubber silicone suit. There's no way to fix joints like on other figures that you can go in there and do some black magic to stiffen up joints and whatnot. But for this guy, there is no way to fix it. There is no way to remove the there's no way to remove the suit or anything. There is no access to this inner skeleton and whatnot. So if something on this thing does not work, there's no way to fix it, right? So that's the biggest drawback from this figure. And again, there are too many negatives to it to justify the price. A bunch of if I ever get tired of the figure, I don't know, I'll probably end up selling it for like 70-80 bucks, just the figure itself, because I'm probably, like I said, I'm probably going to be using the other accessories and whatnot for other stuff. Um, I don't know, but again, uh, it's even though I bought the figure, it was the only way to get to those extra head sculpts. Yes, some people were selling them on eBay, but they were selling them for like 49, $50 each. So in the end, I I would have ended up paying, if I would have gotten, as I was planning, two of the head sculpts, much less three that I'm gonna end up using anyway. Um, I would have ended up paying basically the same thing for the whole figure as people were selling it. In this case, this one, which I got for, like I said, $120 plus tax, free shipping. So in the end, the math told me that it was better to get the whole figure, and I would get the money out of the I would get the money, my money's worth, using the other head sculpts to customize my other figures. So that's how I'm looking at it. Um, but again, for those who just want this figure in itself, I would say maybe hold off and and um, and wait and see if prices drop on it. Although I doubt it. But again, hunt those listings on eBay that say or best offer, and just make your offer. Um, some people are selling it just at 150, 160, and that to me is too high for the quality of this figure. It's just too much. So don't try and overpay it just to get it. I overpaid by $10. That's about it over retail, the regular retail price. So for $10 extra, that's basically me paying for the shipping of the figure. That's how I'm looking at it, basically. So you could say that I got lucky, but I would say wait out. A lot of people freaked out when the figure came out, and a lot of people were taking advantage of those people that didn't get or were able to get in on the pre-sale for this thing, and were willing to pay 150, 160, $170 for the figure. Once reviews started to come out, you saw a lot of those prices drop. And again, like I told you, there are still some listings that are high listings, but there are a lot of those that are in the 140, 150 range. That still to me is too high. So I would again say look for those listings that have the uh, or best offer, and just see what happens. Whoop. There we go. So yeah, that's about it for. I mean, I'm not even gonna try and put the cape on camera because it is a bit of a hassle. So anyway, thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and all of that. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the next one.